anyone is here. This is our Rewind Book Club discussion for the book Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I should probably introduce myself. My name is Elise, if you are unfamiliar with me. By the way, my pronouns are she, her. I just was in a Olivia Rodrigo. It's not necessary. And then if you guys want to just say your names.
Oh, I'm Dimitri. My pronouns are he/him, and I have the book right here.
Look at us, my thing.
My name is Nena. I'm from the channel The Ace Space, and my pronouns are she, her. And I also have the book right here.
Look at us. Oh, hello. Hi. It's almost if I could say, oh, hey, Andy. Sorry.
No.
It's not funny. It's not funny. Sorry. Andy, I hope you're laughing at wherever you are. You better be. I tried to be funny. But anyways, I just want to say thank you really quickly to Dimitri and Nina for being here at a very inconvenient time because we're very different time zones. Oh, look it. Hello. Very enthusiastic. Thanks for the typo. We had some really mixed thoughts on Cinder. I gave it 3 stars, if you guys want to say what you gave it.
Oh, I think I'm leaning towards like 4.5, at the same time 5, because I feel like the past 2 rated 5 stars, so I'm like thinking about keeping it 5 stars just to be like third time still 5 stars, but I'm thinking like 4 or 4.5. So yeah.
I gave it 2 stars. I didn't like it.
Hello. So yeah, we had a good spectrum here. If you all finished the book and want to tell us what you rated it, let us know, because this seems to be a very mixed book. Yeah, there we go. There's
Another
a 2 star.
Yes. No, I'm kidding.
I guess we could just go with our initial thoughts. Sorry, I'm very unprepared whenever it goes to live shows. But yeah, I read this once upon a time ago, probably when I was like 12 or 13. And I actually read it before I had Goodreads. But I remember like really, really loving it. So it probably would have been a 5-star read when I read it. I gave it 3 stars, but I think that was generous because it took me forever to read and it felt like a really generic YA book. 4 stars. I had problems. Yeah, there's some specific problems we'll probably be talking about. Last time I read it 3 stars, almost a 3. I feel like this is the kind of book where if you didn't read it back when it was popular in the 2000s, it's not going to hold up as well because like fantasy is really.
Oh, yeah.
It felt very 2012.
It did.
It did.
Very cliche. I guess I'm just totally jumping here with the questions, but do either of you or any of you in the chat have any particular feelings about story? What are they called? Retellings? Because this is based off of Cinderella, and I don't read a lot of those.
Generally, I feel like I gravitate towards retellings. Like whenever I hear it's retelling, like, oh, I want to read it. For example, I heard recently that, what was it? What's a book? Well, I forgot its name. It's a retelling of King Arthur. I'm not sure. It's that book we were talking about last time, if you remember by any chance.
I don't remember the title.
Legendborn.
Oh, Legend. Oh, wait, that's a retelling of.
Yeah.
Like King Arthur. And when I heard that, I was like, okay, I need to read that like as soon as possible because like I feel like I gravitate towards retellings. Mm-hmm. But like I feel like nowadays when I think about just retellings, they're becoming like what was that genre? Oh, I'm sorry, I'm
like
blanking.
Dystopian?
Dystopian, exactly. Yeah, they're becoming like the new dystopian, basically.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's how I feel about them right now.
I really love retellings when it's done with like an original view on it, which I definitely think Cinder did. It's very original. Yeah, so I like retellings.
Yeah.
But what I liked about, the only thing I like about the original Cinderella is that she kind of dreams her being free because of, she dreams the the fairy godmother, and she dreams all of these
Mhm.
things. She's able to free herself, and I didn't feel that this story had that, which is fine. But I like that about Cinderella, so I'm kind of upset that, or not upset. I think I would have liked it more if it had that thing.
Yeah. No,
Sorry, my English is bad.
No, that's okay. I understand. And also, I don't read too many retellings because I feel like a lot of retellings are usually fantasy, and I know I'm popular, but I don't like fantasy that much. But I feel like this like had potential because it was really creative with the whole cyborg thing, but like something fell flat for me. I don't know what. Also, in the chat, there's a popular question. We love retellings here. And we love Legendborn. I have to read that. Actually, I totally agree with this. If retellings are done with very few differences, it's a no. I feel like at that point you're literally just retelling. Like you're not even retelling. You're just telling the story.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't make it different.
I do like it when they put their own spin on the themes.
Mm-hmm.
So when the themes kind of stay the same.
Yeah, agreed. I do think Cinder did a good job of kind of sticking to similar themes from Cinder.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know it's like really small, like things I would say. For example, like that car she found at the junkyard. They called it like what's
the
it called?
pumpkin.
The pumpkin.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
I know that. I was like, oh, I see what you're doing there.
Mm-hmm.
I kept expecting for the doctor to be the fairy godmother.
Oh
my god.
He was like, you need to go to the ball.
I liked the doctor.
Me too. I was really scared of him in the beginning.
Same. I thought he was so like suspicious.
He was very sketchy, honestly. Yeah. Like I could tell you some things that could like make you look in like the different light from things he would say. It creeps me out in a way.
Mm-hmm. But at the beginning, where he was like, "No, this 32-year-old man is too old, and he has children," and I was like, "Why do you like teenage girls so much?"
That's what I was literally just gonna say that like he made it sound so wrong. He's like, "No, the younger the better." Like these young teenage girls, and his assistant called him out, and I'm like, yeah, I know that's wrong. You make it sound wrong, but we now in hindsight we look at it and be like, no, like why he wants to. Mm-hmm. It makes it less creepy, I guess.
Yeah, I totally agree. Did you all have any favorite characters or anything?
I love Eco.
Oh,
that's my favorite.
Yeah, Eco.
Agreed.
Literally just like the best, honestly. The personality just honestly amazing. But what's it called? Who else? Honestly, like not a favorite character, but like this is like unpopular. But, like maybe like an interesting character is Audrey, I guess.
Yeah,
I could say. Mm-hmm. She was very like interesting, even though she's like technically like a villain type character. I like enjoyed like any like if she was like into movie adaptation, I would feel like I would enjoy watching her like act. That's how I imagined it, like a movie the whole time.
Mm-hmm. Same. Actually, speaking of that, I'm kind of surprised that because you remember like in 2012, 13, 14 when all of those young adult books were getting movies like Divergent, Hunger Games, Maze Runner.
Yeah.
I'm kind of surprised Cinder didn't get one.
Or when did this come out? I feel like
the first one 2012.
Yeah.
Like it was like definitely that era.
Mm-hmm.
This is so random, but I also am surprised. What's that Marie Lu book? Legend didn't get a movie. I totally thought that was going to.
Oh yeah, I heard about that one, but I never like read. I know there's like others by her.
Yeah.
Other books by her that are popular too.
That's another book. 5 stars when I read it. Favorite book when I was a kid, and I tried to reread it, and I was like, garbage. This is not good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's how I feel about Cinder. I read it like the summer after 9th grade, going into 10th grade, and I was like, my teacher when I went into 10th grade, my teacher's like, the first day my English teacher was like, what are your favorite books? And I was like, oh, Cinder by Marissa Meyer. I remember saying that. I was like, I see, like, I enjoyed the book, like as a favorite, maybe back then, like, as a kid. That was, like, I don't know, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I was, how old? I was, like, 15 or whatever. Yeah, that was, I don't know, like, how things change, like, it's very interesting. Like, our tastes change, like, always each year.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I would have read this when I started reading 4 years ago, I think I would have liked it way more. It's not my thing, which is when I bought it. So.
Mm-hmm. Also, I kind of remember that, and I'm surprised that it was stalled about Legend. You know what I always want to know as I've been doing this book club? I don't know if, like, it's because we're getting older and this isn't really our age group anymore that some of these books aren't as good, or if, like, literally collectively as readers, like, things have changed. Like, you know how there's, like, fashion trends, like, fashion taste changes over time? Like, sometimes I wonder if that's kind of what reading is, even though reading should be, like, timeless. Because, like, dystopian was so popular, and
yeah,
I classify this as dystopian, but, like, that is not the thing anymore.
I hope that dystopian kind of returns. I like the genre.
I want, like, dystopian 2.0. Like,
with a new jacket.
Without all, like, the sexism and the homophobia and the racism, you know?
Yeah. And I don't know, kind of, because dystopian is kind of known for all of the tropes, and maybe the tropes as well get a new jacket. Because, you know, I like tropes. It's just
same. They're not
when it's
bad thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this comment says, I do get why people like Cinder. I think it brought up some interesting conversations about what it means to be human because of the cyborgs existing in this future. I actually was thinking about that too. Because, like, oh, go ahead.
Okay. I found it very strange that people think cyborgs didn't have feelings just because of some body parts were different. Because I don't know, I see it less like a disability, being, you know, having a surgery. So I don't know.
Sorry, I found the colors.
Oh,
Ooh, we're doing light pink today.
I found it weird that they just treated, oh yeah, you had an accident, now you're part cyborg, now you're not a human anymore. That's weird.
Yeah, like the way they treated them.
Yeah.
Like, it's like they didn't even treat them as half human, which would already be bad, but they treated them as, like, non-human.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I found it kind of like ableist, but not.
No.
I don't know. It wasn't that obvious.
That. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think that's a really good point because, like, think about it. Cinder had, like, prosthetic limbs, and, like, in one. Also, if anyone's watching right now and doesn't want spoilers, I think we're gonna go into spoiler territory. So bye or stay if you like spoilers. I like spoilers. But what was I in the middle saying? Oh yeah, like towards the end when Cinder's mom punishes her by taking away her whole foot, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. I read the whole series. Cress Rapunzel is my favorite. Are they different? I only remember reading the first 2 books. Are they, like, connected storylines, or is it just like?
Oh yeah, they are.
Rapunzel was the one who said she should go to the ball. Who was?
Oh yeah.
You don't know.
You find out in the 3rd book.
You read it 3 times. She had long blonde hair, and she was captured by, or what was it? Not captured, but, you know, locked up. She was the one who made the chip in Nancy's thing body.
Yeah, she works for Havana.
And then the Winter is Snow White, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the daughter or the stepdaughter of Levana. Oh, didn't you just say that? I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. Yeah. And then you have Scarlet, and that's the
Red Riding Hood.
Red Riding Hood? Yeah. I haven't read those books, but it's kind of obvious, in my opinion.
I'm going to text my family Stop screaming while I'm live. Here's a comment.
Like the more. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I feel like I've never really heard, like, other than this book, I've never really, like, because I'm not a fan of sci-fi mainly, so I don't really like look into like other books or movies or shows generally. Like there's some like I'll watch or like read, but like if they catch my interest. But, like this one's sci-fi fantasy. Like if it's just like sci-fi, I wouldn't like have gone into it. Like so I don't really see this trope much, so I really know it was a trope. So like you said it now.
Yeah, I didn't know it was a trope either.
But I can see it being one.
Yeah.
I've been talking with my mic muted.
I thought so because I thought you were really quiet.
Oh my god.
No, I'm never quiet. If I'm ever quiet, that's by accident.
Okay.
Anyways, as I was saying to myself, I feel like I don't see this trope often because I don't read a lot of sci-fi, but just like the whole theme of like what does it mean to be human, I feel like comes up a lot in YA. Like when there's like superpowers involved, it's like, oh, you're the mutants, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But,
no, yeah.
yeah, the foot thing was a little wild. Also, I kept trying to visualize Cinder with her little kid foot on her.
An 11-year-old's foot.
Yeah. I was like, what is that? Like, I don't know.
Actually, I think when I was 11-year-old, I had the same foot size as I do now.
So. That's what I was thinking. My feet have been the same size since forever.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. It was ableist, but that was kind of the point. Because if you think about it, Cinder is the main character, and like.
Do you think the author was aware that it was ableist? Because was it kind of addressed as like an ableist thing?
I want to say no. I kind of want to say no. And as was pointed out before, there's also like a transphobic joke in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
And so like disappointing, but like so classic 2000.
Yeah.
Like make just to make fun of things like that.
Just pure ignorance.
Yeah. And like again, I'm sure there was no malicious intent, but that doesn't mean it doesn't cause harm. Mm-hmm. And I feel like with the ableist thing, I think we can extract the themes and like make it into something that is supposed to be against ableism, but I don't think that was like an intentional theme.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, the character with cybernetic prosthetics has some sort of angst about not being human enough. Actually, I feel like that sounds about right.
That sounds like a trope. Yeah. Yeah, now I understand it.
Yeah, I get that.
I made chicken and now just got back to my phone. Hi.
Enjoy.
I don't remember this book. I'm here for at least. Hi, no. Your profile picture is very cute.
Yeah.
Just wanted to say. Have either of you continued the series? Dimitri, never mind. I don't know why I asked that to you. I know you've continued the series.
Yeah.
I got to book 2. Or I finished book.
I got to book 4, but then had the thing where I do is like where I randomly stop series randomly for no reason.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh, we have more problematic elements. This is so true. Even if it wasn't intended to be ableist, it's so because impact is greater than intentions.
Just because it wasn't addressed. If it was addressed, it could have been so much better, but it wasn't, and then you don't know what her intentions were. Mm-hmm. You can put something ableist in your book and not agree with it, but you have to address it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. And then another favorite of mine, the whole Pan-Asian aesthetic of the first book.
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get a little suspicious because Marissa Meyer is white, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get a little suspicious when a white author has all characters that are not white. I mean, I don't think I think
you had.
Yeah, go ahead.
You had literally aliens, and then nobody else was white, I think.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I think regardless of your race, I don't think you have to write characters only that are your race, because then every white person would only have white people books. But I think there's a way to incorporate other races without being weird about it. But like, this was weird. I don't know if that makes any sense. that definitely made no sense.
The only thing I liked about that is that when Levana said that it was good that there weren't many countries anymore, was that Kai said, well, a lot of cultures were lost. And I was like, yeah, that's a good point, but I don't know.
Yeah. Got another comment on that. The Asian Commonwealth was what I had the most, what I had most of a problem with. Yeah, I just feel like it becomes this thing where there's Asian isn't like one distinct race, you know?
Yeah.
You can be from many different countries and many different cultures, and then just to like, I don't know, something about that. It's iffy because I feel like I want people to include more characters of a color, but also I feel like there's a certain way you got to go about it. But I don't know.
When they said that the president of Africa wanted to speak, I was like, wait, what? But then they explained that they were combined. At first I was confused because I don't think there's such a thing in our timeline.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Hot takes today. I'm loving it. I think that white authors can write characters of color, but if they can't take the heat that comes with it, they shouldn't play with fire. I think there's like a fine line between incorporating characters of color and like almost fetishizing them for their aesthetic, like perceived aesthetic, not like people actually have an aesthetic for their race. Oh, and that is literally what I just said. Another sci-fi is including Asian, specifically Japanese aesthetics. Yeah, I've totally noticed that,
especially with androids and robots.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Yeah, no, it's weird. They must be aware that they're writing something that could be considered problematic or racist or something. I'm just coming here with all the good points. I think that white authors can write characters of color, but they can't and shouldn't write about being a person of color. Yeah. That is the take of this show.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. It kind of like reminds me of arguments about like a lot of really popular LGBT books end up being about queer men, but they're written by women. Like, I don't know, I feel like there could be good representation, but sometimes you should be writing about your own experiences while still being able to incorporate other characters.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I don't know, I feel like that's a really like iffy thing, you know, because it's fiction and it's not like it's complicated. There's many layers to it, and I guess there's never going to be a perfect book, but
wrong. No.
Let's see. Oh, can I just say real quick? I don't know if any of you read the physical book. I own it. I did not read it, but the font in here, if anyone has it, is kind of funky. I don't know if you can see it at all. Look at that. Why does it look like that? I don't know if it's just me.
Well,
you know what I have is that it's black here.
Oh.
But you have a different copy. Mine is shiny.
I kind of like yours.
Mine is like, I don't know. Like, wait.
I feel like there's a bunch of moms at a book club right now with our books. Like, oh my gosh, Heather, how are you?
Did you bring the brownies?
But I don't know why, but I feel like I like the font. I don't know why. It's pleasing to my eye. Like, I have a problem like with it. It's not too dark. It's not too light. It's just like medium, and it doesn't like annoy me. Because I have like books that I read for school that had just like bold font the whole book. Like I was like, no, it just looks weird and inky, and no, it's not pleasing to the eye. Like, and if it's too small, too big, like I have a weird preference for font, and I'm like, this one I was like satisfied with.
I remember
one thing I did like about the book is the pacing. I felt personally that I could really get through it.
Yeah,
the pacing of the book.
I agree. It's like a short book, but it went by pretty fast. But like in a good way.
Yeah.
Wait, did you say it's a short book, but it went by
No,
pretty
I mean it's a lot. It's like a thick book. It's kind of long.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a normal sized book. I guess for like any fantasy, like a beginning fantasy, it starts out this way.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a reading slump for 2 months.
Oh,
really,
nice.
really struggling reading. And yesterday I read 160 pages. So
Oh,
I
that's
think
awesome.
the pacing was very good.
That's
And the
awesome.
font also really helped.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I feel like it's just a little too light for me, if that makes any sense. I remember when I was a kid, I'm bringing up Legend again. If either of you've ever seen the physical books, they literally, okay, it's in 2 point of views, but you know how I don't know if you've seen this, but sometimes to distinguish between 2 point of views, authors will use different fonts.
Oh.
You're not seeing that? So sometimes like one character's chapters, they'll write in one font, and the other character's chapters, they'll write in a different font. In Legend, they had the text in different colors. So like,
what?
which is a blue book, it literally had blue text. And Champion, which was red, but like the cover is red, it had red text. Like the font was literally red. And then Legend is like goldish. So it literally had like goldish yellow fonts. It was so weird.
That would be hell to read.
I remember when I was a kid, I thought that was so cool, but
I mean, it's different and creative, I guess. But.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know a lot of people have struggled reading. I don't know how to finish that sentence. Wait, something that I did want to say was that with this different fonts, I get that when it's in a graphic novel or something.
Yeah.
It's fun. But why would you do that in a book?
I know. I did think it was fun and snazzy when I bought the books, but
I mean, to differentiate point of views, I know the normal thing I see is that they would put the character's name at the top. That's like the normal thing I usually see.
You all are with me for a second. Sorry.
Oh.
I can't stop thinking about it. Don't mind me. Okay, I know this is not a Legend live show, but just really quickly, I don't know if you can tell.
No, that could be the next month.
It doesn't show up well, but the font is yellow.
I almost.
This is black. This is black. This font is literally yellow. The other books.
I can see it.
Sorry for anyone just joining us. I got distracted. This is blue. Oh my gosh, you can barely see. This is blue. It's like literally the color.
I can't see that.
No, I think I just see the same. It just shows like the same like black color.
My favorite, bright red. The whole book.
Yeah.
Maybe. Oh wait, I see the red here. I see red. I was gonna suggest that Elise is just crazy and like.
I promise they're colored. Okay, I missed out on all these comments because I'm getting distracted. Andy says there's a thin line between appreciation and fetishization. That is very true.
Wasn't Marissa Meyer? Because I know she's on like my mental problematic authors list, and I never remember why they're on there. But was it because of this book?
Oh, which
doesn't
author?
you know? Marissa Meyer.
You're right.
Oh.
Okay, we're doing a quick Google search. What did Marissa Meyer write?
She did write Renegades, which I do own, I think. And I think mainly this and Renegades she was like famous for.
For a long time, I thought she was the Twilight author.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I guess it looks like this Cinder would have been her popular book.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. I made this screen small. Now I can't see it. I mean, I don't get why authors write about people of color and don't get people of color's opinions about it before publishing. That should be the standard. And then hold on. I saw another one down below. Here we go. Awkward. I'm taking forever. Whatever. I can't find the comment, but basically it said sensitivity readers are. Oh, there we go. Yeah, sensitivity readers are important and very necessary. I feel like that's not a resource people utilize ever.
I literally have sensitivity readers for identities that I am myself. Like, so I don't understand.
Sensitivity reader.
No, because when I write it, I'm, this is my perspective of
Yeah.
autism, and then somebody else might have a different perspective. Or if I write it this way and I know what I'm thinking, maybe it won't come across. So I don't get it why it's not a must for publishing.
And everyone in the chat talking about this instant karma book, you might have to send the tea to us.
Isn't that new?
I've never heard of it.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay. Thank you for that information.
I love that Elise is prioritizing the fact that she loves Olivia Rodrigo over pronouns. Right now, Olivia Rodrigo is taking over my identity, but my pronouns are she, her. I just felt like I would like to discuss Olivia Rodrigo. Don't address me. Address Olivia. All right.
About the book, I did want to talk about, if it's okay, Elise.
Yeah. Please.
What did you think about Kai? Because I hated him.
I didn't like him.
Wait, thank you. Really quickly. So for the Ace readathon that we did, and what is the book? Summerbird Blue. Wasn't the love interest also Kai?
Yes, but I liked him.
I feel like that's his name.
He wasn't the love interest because he was hero Ace.
Anyways, I really liked Kai. I liked Kai, but like, I liked him and he was sweet, but I feel like his persistence with Cinder was a little unrealistic. Like there was no reason why. Like I didn't understand his attraction to her. Like I feel like the relationship felt forced in a way. Like it was sweet of him to keep asking, but I also felt like there was no reason for him to keep asking.
Yeah.
Like they'd barely interacted. I don't know.
And he doesn't know what the word no means.
Yeah, that's also.
He's like, do you want to go to the ball with me? No. Please go to the ball with me. No. Go to the ball with me. No. And then he was like, why won't you go to the ball with me? Because blah, 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 blah. Well, then maybe I shouldn't have asked. Yeah, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have. And then he was trying to give her a present and she didn't want it. He asked 3 times, or he said 3 times, here's your present. And then he was like, I'm going to leave it with you anyways.
Yeah, that's very true.
I hate him. Also, I think something very funny at the end was that Cinder was doubting that Kai. Wait, do I?
I don't know if you've heard the song.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going. I got distracted.
At the end of the book, throughout the book, Cinder was like, "Oh, I don't know why he would love me. I'm a cyborg, whatever." And then to Levana at the end, she was like, "Why would he marry you? He's in love with me." And I was like, the audacity! I don't understand.
Yeah, there is a lot of strange relationships, but it was like pretty much insta love, I think, with the way. I mean, like, kind of. I don't know. I liked his personality, but it just felt a little fast.
I don't know. I just see him as having, like, being the prince. He makes it his own, like, his personality. Like, there's some lines he would say that, like, would make me feel iffy about him. Like, he once said something about, what was it? I'm trying to remember. My memory. It was like something about going to the ball with Cinder, and then he said something about, "But I'm the prince," or whatever. And it made me like he would always like say that for some reason, like I'm the prince, so like prioritize this. Like, yes, we know Kai, but like, can you like not? He just makes me uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know why.
He also was like, "Don't call me Your Highness, call me Kai," and then doing things as if he was really humble, but then
I know
the whole time. It was really, I don't know, he wasn't consistent, and I didn't feel like Cinder was consistent as well in her actions and her thoughts. So
okay,
it felt so flat.
My vote's for Summerbird Blue Kai, not Cinder Kai.
Yeah.
I don't know why, like, his persistence made me kind of, like, annoyed still, because, like, she said no, and no means no, and he just continued. I'm like, Kai, just, like, read the room. And she's clearly doesn't want to go with you, because for, like, reasons. She has reasons, obviously, that she can't tell you. But he doesn't care. He's like, I need you to hug the ball with me, because I don't know why. I like you. That's why.
Yeah. It's almost like he was trying to be humble, but all of a sudden he's getting told no and he's not getting what he wants. And he's like, excuse me. I'm going to keep asking till I get what I want.
Yeah. I just remember next book, he's like depressed boy. That's why I remember.
Oh.
I just remember him being a depressed boy in the next book. The whole time, because Cinder's not there, and she's like, she's betrayed me. How could she? Blah, 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 blah.
It happens?
Not like that sense, like betray, like she lied to me in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, how could I, that, like, I don't have to explain it, but like, that's how I remember it mainly, and him just being very sad the whole time. But then he comes around. Oh, then they kidnap him. Oh, sorry for spoilers. Cinder like kidnaps him for something, and then
let me just give you the layout for the whole series.
The plot apparently is going to be like the news portrays it as Cinder kidnaps him, like the twist things around. You'll find out next book when she escapes prison. But
oh my god, I'm yawning, and it's you two who have the late time zone. It's only 4 something here. Oh, it's 5 o'clock. Sorry. Anyways. I liked this comment that I pulled up here. They like each other because of plot reasons. I feel like that's the thing about these like early YA books. The plot is very formulaic. Is that a word? Yeah, the plots are very formulaic. So like everything happens for like some very specific plot reason, which I think is, something books should do, but it always follows the same formula, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
I feel like it's not original in that sense, because during that time especially, things were very like, there's a pattern to things. Like many of these books, they be compared to each other, because like, so clearly Marissa Meyer probably got it from somewhere in that sense, because I don't think anything's like, not like, if we talk generalization, like nothing technically is original. So I'm guessing she did get inspiration from other even early 2000s books, if that makes sense.
All right, this comment says, I wonder if he, as in Kai, would have cared about Cinder being a cyborg if she had told him from the start. Of course, she had no obligation to tell him anything, but just a thought.
Do you think?
No, I don't think it would change anything, because technically he didn't have an infatuation with her directly at the start. And he clearly has been, like, his father, whoever, did the cyborg draft thing where they've been taking the cyborgs against their will because they don't think they're useful at all to society, like to be as like guinea pigs. So I think he would like follow that thought in his mind. He would have been maybe like change his way of like how he treated her from then on, like been more uncomfortable, clearly.
Yeah.
I think he wouldn't have cared as much with the cyborg, but I think the lunar part he would have been a little.
Am I wrong? Because I feel like I remember him saying a line like towards the end of the book when I was like reading like very fast, like something about like, I don't care where she's from, we're not arresting her, or something like that. Like where she came from, something like that.
But I feel like he wouldn't have stuck with it. I don't know. It's interesting to see how we compare all of these early 2010 books to each other, and how we'll be doing this again with books published now in the next decade.
Oh, that's a good point.
Okay, excuse me while I cough off camera.
Yeah, I think we will be comparing things.
I think that's a normal thing. We just like we should normalize, but we do. Is just comparing everything to each other. Like nothing can be its own thing anymore. I don't know. That's the way I see it nowadays.
I also just like, as I was mentioning before, I think it's really interesting how personal tastes change, but also just like the entire trend of what's popular changes. Because like I'll get excited over new releases and I want to pre-order the books, and like I'll spend full price, or I'll pay full price for the books because I'm like, I'm so excited for this. It's gonna be my favorite. I bet like 10 years from now, it's gonna be the same thing. I'll be like, why do I own this semi-racist book? Like,
Yeah.
No, yeah, I know what you mean.
I have a lot of books to read that I own, so I'm on a complete, well, not complete book buying, but complete. Because I know that if I'm interested in a book right now, that it's just gonna sit on my shelf, or it has a high chance to sit on my shelf, and then maybe in 3 years I'll get to it and I might not be interested anymore, which had happened with this. I'm very glad at least this was the book club pick, otherwise I wouldn't have read it.
Yeah, I totally relate to that. I feel like half the reason I started this book club is because when I was a kid, there was a bookstore by me that would have books for $1. And they were used, but they were only $1. They do not have books for $1 anymore. But I would get so excited. I'd buy every single book. So now I have like a million of these YA dystopians that I will never, ever read.
Yeah.
Apparently Sailor Moon is an inspiration. I have not seen Sailor Moon.
Me neither.
I think I've seen the first episode, but it was dubbed. Don't come for me, but I watched it dubbed, not subbed. I know that's very controversial in the anime community.
I know people.
I do not care. I do not care. Well, I'm not in the anime community, but
yeah.
I think I used to be when I was like 2016. Yeah.
Nothing can be its own thing anymore. Yes, because we're all... Dude, I struggle so hard to read out. Yes, because we're all more similar than we think so. So our... You don't know how long it takes you to do attempts to film videos. Okay, take 2. Nothing can be its own thing anymore. Yes, because we're all more similar than we think. So are any of us truly unique?
You're having me contemplate my life.
I know. Here we're all going to leave like having an existential crisis.
No, but I think that our opinions about things are so influenced by trends and by what people around us think. Or at least I'm a sponge when it comes to opinions. So
that's a cute way to describe it, but I totally understand that. I feel like also, again, really, like, especially with this era, I'm going to keep holding up this book because, again, I own it and I bought it and it's my favorite. So at least it'll serve a purpose here on my screen. But I feel like a lot of these books had the not like other girls, outsider character, like misunderstood, ignored, but like everyone related to the characters anyway. Yeah. So like we all think we're unique, but then we're relating to the misunderstood, not like those abandoned, neglected girl.
What I like about that is that there was a wave of that, and then it came like, oh, actually, it's not a compliment when somebody says that you're not like other girls because girls are awesome, and it's actually sexist to say so. Mm-hmm. And now we're kind of going into this, or at least what I see on social media, is that we're understanding that when people think I'm not like other girls, we're actually like, I'm not like what society wants me to be. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're kind of, saying I'm not like other girls because we see what other girls are supposed to be and we don't agree with it. So it's actually saying we don't like misogyny. And it's not sexist for people to say it. It's just prove that sexism exists.
Exactly. That's such a good way to put it. I feel like all these books from the early 2010s that had the whole not like other girls character without like saying misogyny or anything, but like literally made it like I'm a little snowflake and girls, I'm not like girls. I feel like that was so harmful growing up for me. It took me forever to get out my not like other girls phase. I was talking about this in a different live show I did recently, but just now in my 20s, I'm finally going back to the things that were like other girls. Like I just watched High School Musical for the first time. My favorite color is now pink. I'm going to force our names to be in pink. I have pink. I love pop music now, as my no longer pronouns say. I feel like it's not perfect, but I feel like at least some books now are a bit better at not being sexist by accident.
I was reading a book recently and I had to DNF it because the girl hated her friends.
Spill a tea. Which title?
Cool for the Summer.
Oh my gosh.
I don't
He.
I don't know if it changes because I DNF'd it, but she just despised her friends and was like, I do not like this girl hate.
I just said in a different live show, I can't wait to read that.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna
Oh wait, someone was reading that. Wait, I remember who. Wait, I'm trying to remember. Last live show.
Yeah, Ari from our last live show. We did.
Yeah. They were reading it. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah, that was like 5 o'clock your time.
She was like, oh, my friend is the main character was like, oh, my friend is like this, and now my other friend does this. Like she always wants to do, and I don't know. That's a really bad description.
I feel like
everybody around her.
I only like that if it's addressed that that's a bad thing. Because I feel like growing up, I was like that, but because like I don't know, I thought it was like cool.
Yeah.
But I think that's fine if like you can relate to that, and then it's addressed that's a bad thing, but not that it's used for like a whole personality trait.
I don't know if it was addressed later. I couldn't sit through it, so I'm not bashing the book because I didn't read all of it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But it was difficult for me to read because I've been through that, being hated on by my friends and without reason, just because I liked some things. Yeah.
Okay, I love that blurbs have this now. Like this book meets that book for fans of whatever. If you guys know what that means, I feel like that's fun. And then I get really sad if it doesn't relate to the kind of books. Like I get my hopes up, and then it's like, this is not what I was expecting.
But also sometimes you get things like, oh, Simon and the Homo sapiens meets this and that, and then it's only Simon and the Homo sapiens because it has queer rep, and it's like, why? I'm not surprised if one time a book will say Simon and the Homo sapiens and the Hobbit, and then you'd be like, why? And it's just because there are dwarves and there are I'm kidding. Anyways,
Anya's recommending we read Follow Your Arrow.
Okay,
I've heard of that. It looks good. Oh, and here's another one. Perfect on paper. I begged for an arc of this. They kindly ignored my email, but I really want to read it. Are you taking a picture?
Yeah.
Title.
I don't know. I feel like I'm that person who like never like ever says like when people ask like what like new releases are you looking forward to, I'm like, I don't know, because I don't keep up with things. It's like in 2 years when that new release you're looking for becomes 2 years old, I'm like, okay, I'll go back to that book because I don't know why. I'm just that person for some reason. That's why I also have like a lot of books here from like the early 2000s that I actually need to read, so I'll always think I'll be stuck in that phase for now until like I look for, I don't know. Like the most I'll ever read a book is like when it's like 1 year old. I've like never read like, I don't feel like I've ever read something when it was like new.
Yeah, I didn't really start reading new releases until I signed up for NetGalley. I know that's not as accessible in different countries, but that was my main source of new books. Otherwise, I wait until books are old, so that way they'll be at my library or I can get a used copy for cheap.
Oh, I think I used to have NetGalley till I heard that something about they prioritize mainly like most like American or Canadian, like mainly like their country specifically for like books. And I'm like, okay, I guess like I don't have a chance. So I was like, never mind.
Is it perfect on paper on script?
Oh, it might be.
Because I read it last week and I just forgot about it.
Is it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites this year.
Oh, okay. I can't wait to read it then.
I didn't want it to end. It was so...
Oh, that's awesome.
I loved it.
What's her name? Sophie?
Yes, Sophia Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. I read an arc of her upcoming book at the end of this year. If this gets out, 5 stars when that comes out.
Doesn't have the band?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's about like a boy band and there's a little romance going on. So good. Anyways, I love this comment. I don't love it that it's happening, but I relate to this comment that Andy put here. I feel like young girls saying that they're not like other girls is just because they don't relate to how society portrays young girls and making fun of them for enjoying girly things. Yeah. You do not know how much I relate to that. Literally, because I remember like in class, like the teachers would make fun of the girls if they were doing each other's hair. They'd be like, "This isn't a hair salon, girls, stop it." Blah, blah. So literally, I grew up thinking like putting my hair in a ponytail was girly. I'd like wear my hair down, like stupid, like ridiculous. There's another one. Yes, exactly. I literally thought it was so different from other girls. There's just very, very set ways that we portray ourselves. Wow, who would have thought our cyborg book would have brought up such
very complex conversation?
Like about gender and everything.
Yeah. I thought to myself recently, because I'm a cis woman, but I do not believe in gender. So it's like a weird thing where I'm cis and comfortable with that, but it's not like I believe in such things.
Yeah, no.
And it's very much has to do with what society puts on women and how to act and how to behave. Like, I remember I was like 13 in a classroom taking a test with my legs open, and then my girlfriend was like, a friend who was a girl was like, "Irina, why would you do that? You know, like," and I was like, "What the hell is wrong with being my legs open?" My friend was sexualizing me, but not from like just because of the male gaze. You know, it was just so ridiculous to do that to a 13-year-old girl. Yeah. Anyways.
Sorry, that happened too. Also, I'm just gonna say right now, I study psychology and sociology, so this topic is exciting. Not that I'm excited that it happens, but it just interests me.
No, I'm very glad that I'm aware about what sexism does to how I view women. Because it's like internalized sexism, and it's so weird.
Yeah. Just to bring back our books, we got a little sidetracked. I also feel like that's in a lot of these books, like the whole I forgot what I was in the middle of saying. Please ignore that thought. Someone say something else. I tried to get back on track, and then my brain said,
"It's okay."
Absolutely.
We were talking about how it's common in the dystopian 2012-ish books to be the main characters feel like they're not like other girls and feeling like a snowflake. That's what we were talking about.
You literally said that though. I feel like I was going to say something else. That's okay.
I
don't know. I feel like I was going to elaborate, but then like my brain said, "What if I did?"
Okay.
It happens.
Yeah, it does.
You know what's funny though? What I was also thinking about is the not like other girls thing. Like when girls are having a hard time, like they're angsty or whatever, I feel like a lot of times people will say they don't like the main character. Like they'll say they're annoying or like complain too much. Like for example, Dimitri, when we read The Hunger Games, like Katniss, none of us really liked Katniss because she just like complained a lot and she was kind of stuck up.
Yeah, Katniss. I think I kept saying like, why? she was so fixated on like her like, I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say, but something about her being obsessed with like killing Pia got me the wrong way for some reason. That's why I kept. I don't know. My sister will like defend their ship to the death, but because she's like she's rereading the books, she's finishing the third one now for the I don't know how many times. Yeah. But I know Katniss. I don't know. I didn't like her like the most. I don't know, maybe if I continue like the second book and on, that'll change. But I don't know. But I didn't like hate her. I don't know how to explain it.
But, I mean, anyways, the main point was that I just feel like there's the not like other girls trope, and people like that. But if you're too angsty, you're gonna be annoying. But then there's the other side when there's like angsty teenage. I didn't mean to put that on the screen. Sorry. I got too enthusiastic with my hand movements. But when it comes to like angsty, annoying male characters, I feel like a lot of times people like that. Like for example, have either of you read Aristotle and Dante Discover?
Yeah.
One of my favorite books. We discussed this a couple live shows ago. Author is a little problematic. But it was one of my favorite books growing up. But if you think about it, the main character is like super angsty and annoying, and he like all he does is complain in the book. I've read it a million times, and every time I'm shocked with all the complaining. And just like a lot of like books featured teenage boys that are complainy and annoying, but I feel like
I heard about what's it called? There's books, a classic book. What's it called? Catch and Rye. I heard that. I haven't read it, but I heard that's what people do. The main character in Catch and Rye, like that he complained. What?
What?
One of my favorite books, but it's like a book you don't want to admit's one of your favorite books.
Oh yeah, like a red flag.
Shut up. Be quiet. Pretty much. It's literally the entire book is just this main character, Holden Caulfield, and he just complains the entire book. Like everything. He's just like, I hate my life. Everyone's so fake. I hate this. Blah, blah, blah. And like the main stressor in his life is, I don't know, he goes to boarding school. And his parents don't like him that much. But just literally entire book, this sucks. Everything sucks. Life sucks. And I read that when I was 14 and I was like, masterpiece. Hands down. Gorgeous. Relatable writing. Enchanting. Charming character. Like, if anyone says their favorite book is Catcher in the Rye, run. Catcher in the Rye.
Okay, bye.
And then everyone leaves my show.
Thing is for me, like a little bit unrelated, but like a problem I have is like do you want books? Like I don't like to reread books. I like reading it once and like have that my opinion, like set for life, because I might fear I have is like, what if I read it and don't like it as much?
Yes. Same.
And then like I know, but like sometimes like you have to accept it, I guess sometimes. I'm like reading this book like the third time, like, okay, I like it. I can see like I like it a little bit less now. And that's hard to admit because I'm like, no, this used to be my favorite book in like when I was 14, 15. Oh my god, it's kind of hard to admit. I feel like that's like how it is with like a lot of people. But I know at least you say you would like read Aristotle and Dante like once a year, like during Christmas time.
That's one of the only ones I'll reread because I feel like that has like the comfort vibes. But for example, like one of my favorite books growing up, I literally have a whole poster there, was The Maze Runner. I've only read that once. I'm not going to reread it. I know I'll hate it if I reread it. Also, the author was accused of like sexually harassing people. So yeah, but stuff like that I'm not going to reread. Maybe once, but
I don't know. I have it at home in my sister's room. Like her friend gave it to her, like the series, because they didn't want it. And I was like, it looks boring. I don't know why. I can't judge it because I haven't read it, but like when I see it, like even the movies, like the first one was like good. The rest after that, did not interest me at all.
James Dashner, the author of The Maze Runner, is the only author I've actually met. And now he like personalized my book. I was like, I remember it was 2 days after my 13th birthday. So excited. And now every time I think about it, I was like, I hope he wasn't sexually harassing anyone at that book talk. Like, it's totally ruined it for me. But
yeah.
No, yeah.
That sucks.
All right. So somehow we've actually managed to talk for a whole hour. So this is the part in the live show where we usually choose the book for the next book club. Well, that sounded weird. The next month, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The next books. And I think what we're doing now is we're going to choose the books for the next 3 months because we always have the live shows late and then I feel bad. I feel like no one can get the book in time. So we're going to fix that. And I cue the awkward silence while I figure out how to share my screen. And play the Jeopardy theme song.
Back to the one another thing I want to mention is like the other girl thing. I kind of got that from Cinder, but not because she was like a cyborg or like lunar or anything like that. Just because like I don't know, like kind of like like early on, like with PD, she's like this like fan like girling about Prince Kai and stuff like that. And Cinder was like trying to like distance herself from that. She's like, I'd never like have a crush on the prince or whatever like that. I'm not other girls in that sense.
Yeah, no, totally. And she gets with him anyways.
Yeah, but I don't know, but like a part of me is like trying to defend her in my mind. But maybe she only thought that because he never want her, so why would she like
That's true. That's
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
You're setting yourself up for like public.
Yeah, getting your hopes up for nothing because, like, It's like, I don't know, I kind of like defend in my mind. I don't know.
Yeah.
I get that
I
too.
didn't feel. I don't know. I didn't feel like that was cringy or something because I know that I'm like that because like it's, expressing your feelings in the public is awkward.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of sides to it. Anyway, to choose the books, if anyone is unfamiliar with how we do this, I just have a massive list of a bunch of books that were popular in the early 2010s that are, again, in a list. And right now we have 63 of them. So I guess I'm just going to be pushing that generate button a bunch of times because I'm going to give, so they're numbered. Oh my gosh, I'm doing such a bad job explaining this.
No, I get it.
They're numbered. They're numbered, and usually what we do is we hit the generate button 4 times, and I'm going to make a Twitter poll off of that, so that way we'll get to vote on which book we want. However, I'm going to do that 3 times because we're choosing 3 books, so forgive me if we're here for a while.
It's okay.
All right. So first,
it's not late here.
Oh,
that's not really late.
No, I'm kidding.
What time is it over there for both of you?
Oh, it's 1:30 a.m. Which is not, it's not, Elise, calm down, it's not bad.
I feel bad. Okay.
It's not bad.
So our first option for the first book is 55, and that is The Iron King. I don't know.
Never heard of it.
The Iron King is what the Frog Prince was called.
What?
King Henry.
Oh, really?
No, that's the Iron Prince. Never mind.
Oh,
okay.
Starting off not very strong. But the second option is 38, which is The Red Queen.
No.
I think that's really bad.
Isn't that being adapted?
I just got rid of my copy. Like,
it's getting adapted. Yeah.
Okay,
I read the first book, but towards the end it was so boring. I couldn't handle it.
Yeah, I hear.
Isn't it getting adapted?
I think so.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I think, yeah.
Most of these books are going to be bad, but that's the fun of it. Third option is 25. Oh, well, look at that. It's Arian Dante.
Oh.
That's going to win. I'm just guessing right now.
Oh, as long as it's not Red Queen, then I'm down. Okay.
But that's going to win. I'm just predicting this second. Okay, and the fourth option is 20.
That would be a fun live show. Arian Dante
The Maze Runner.
Oh God, why?
That's my favorite book was as a kid.
We talked about Arian Dante. We mentioned The Maze Runner.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
They're all coming up.
Okay, so now as we choose options for the next book, if any of the options are repeats, I think I'll just keep them because there's no way we're voting for the same book 3 months in a row. But as long as we haven't read them. Okay, book 2, option 1, 22. Two Boys Kissing. I read that when I was a kid. I don't remember if it was good.
I've heard of that. I've heard of it, yeah.
For that time, the cover was very provocative. It was like Two Boys Kissing. I remember seeing it.
Yeah, I remember the cover.
I'd be like, oh, are we allowed to do that? Okay. Book 2, option 2 is 2. Wow, that was a lot of 2s I just said. Which is The Selection.
Oh, what is it?
I hear that's also terrible.
Oh, which book?
The Selection.
No. Wait, okay.
Akira Cast.
I DNF'd the second book last summer, yeah.
Maybe we'll have to force you to read it again.
But the first book is bearable. Like, the main character is like annoying, but like, yes.
We'll have to read that book, and only you, Demetria, are required to read the whole series. Okay.
No, my God.
Sixth book is The Hunger Games, so we read that, so.
The sequel? I don't know.
Okay, 47. Maury says The Selection ruined my sister's Christmas years ago.
I need to know the story.
Okay, Kaylee, if you're watching.
With the dresses?
Yes, it is. Kaylee, if you're watching, you'll like this one. Okay, book 2, option 3 is Marked, which is a vampire book. So true. Ari and Dante for Pride Month?
No,
Oh,
oh my god.
override any vote.
But Mark, oh my god, I think I DNF'd the first book like when I was in high school before when I knew what DNFing was. I remember it's just very a provocative scene that happened. That was I was like, I don't know. It was like we can talk if we get that gets picked, we'll talk about that scene.
That'll be fun. Hold on, my mom is harassing me, asking why I'm not done yet. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, so the next book was Simon and the Homo Sapiens. So Simon and the Homo Sapiens Agenda, but we read that. So take 2 or take a million. Okay, 30 is Miss Peregrine. I don't know how to pronounce that. Peregrine.
Peregrine. No,
Peregrine. No, none of the above. Well, it's her home for peculiar children. Okay, book 2, option 3. I don't know why I made it into a musical. Oh wait, I messed up. I messed up. Oopsies. That is option 4. Okay, and then next we have the options for book 3. All right, first one is 11. The Secret of the Old Clock, which is, I guess, the first Nancy Drew book. That is from 1991. That is definitely not the early 2000s.
That made me laugh. I don't know why. That'd be interesting.
That's what I get for making a collaborative list and people don't pay attention to the directions. Okay, and the second book is number 5, which is The Fault in Our Stars. I bet that's going to win.
Ooh.
That was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
There is some controversy around that.
Oh, is it? I haven't heard anything about it since I was like 13.
Because of the kind of inspiration porn with cancer.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Third option is 20, which is The Maze Runner again. That's okay. Book 3, option 3. Maze Runner. All right, and then the very last one. This live show is doing so much better than the last one. My last live show, I had Maury on here. We lasted 30 minutes, and then we had to skedaddle. We were not having a good time.
No.
All right, last one is 34, which is Vampire Academy. I think, was that a shriek of excitement or? Oh, look at Maury. Why are you picking so many books? Okay, so we're picking options. So we're doing the same thing where we have the polls and like there's 4 options per poll, but we're choosing books for the next 3 months. So that way we're not running into the problem where like it's the middle of the month and no one has the book because we didn't announce it. So,
I like the Vampire movie too. Oh my god. If that doesn't win, I don't know.
Okay, let me quickly take a picture of the chat before I lose. Okay, wouldn't that suck if I lost all these?
Well, you can watch the live back.
That is so true, but do I really want to watch myself?
That's fair.
Okay. Wait, no, I'm kidding. I'm not done.
Wait, what are your predictions for what will win for each month?
Oh my gosh, okay.
Okay, I think Ari Dante or Red Queen, but maybe Ari Dante?
I think Ari and Dante.
Okay, selection. There's always 2 options: selection or what else? Miss Peregrine.
Book 2, I'm not sure. I feel like I've heard a lot of people say they want to read Marked, but I feel like that's not going to win.
I feel like selection has a chance, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna vote for Miss Peregrine.
And sadly, I feel like Fault in Our Stars will win, even though I want
I think either Vampire Academy or not the Maze Runner, Vampire Academy or The Fault in Our Stars.
Oh God, but I don't know. I'm biased. I know some parts of Vampire Academy can be seen like there's some as problematic, like some like
the age gap.
I was about to say, I know like there's like I commented on like the age gap romance, which I don't like support and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Well, most of these books that you mentioned are problematic.
Oh,
so.
I know.
absolutely. And we'll make sure to address that.
Yeah, the point is if we address them, then it's not like really.
Especially the trigger warning for transphobia in Ariandante.
Yeah.
That's
I will
rough.
make sure. I usually copy a link to the trigger warning site. I didn't know with Cinder that there was a transphobic joke and that wasn't in there, and I didn't remember that. But for Ariandante, I very specifically remember that. So if that wins, I'll make sure to address that. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm going to have to kick you all off my YouTube right now because my mom keeps texting me because I need to help her clean the house.
Oh, it's okay.
But thank you all so much for joining. This was fun. This was a good discussion. Maybe it wasn't entirely Cinder based, but it was a good discussion. And yeah, I will make the polls sometime in the future. Not this second because I have to help my mom. But yeah, we'll have them all out. Thanks, everyone. And you two go to bed, please.
Yeah, okay. Good night.
Good night. And now we have the awkward silence while I try to end the broadcast.